I'm good, great.
Welcome to Readerscafe, Authortalks.
Thank you.
Good evening. We have Omar with us, the debut author of Divided Species that we have over here. His first ever novel, sci-fi, and we will be decoding Omar Iftikhar today at Authortalks. So here we go. Omar, tell us a little about yourself before we begin.
I was born in Karachi, the city where Divided Species takes place, and I completed my education from this city, and currently I am working as assistant manager for public relations in a business school in Karachi, and I always wanted to write ever since I was a child, so I chose my profession in which I had to write every day, and that is what I have been doing for the last 10+ years.
Okay, what gave you this novel idea to write a sci-fi when your contemporaries are more inclined towards Sufi fiction, political satire, humor, etc., etc.? Why sci-fi?
I think I was always inclined towards reading science fiction and watching movies and TV shows and animated series based on science fiction. And when I was thinking about the idea of writing a novel, my first novel, I wanted to use science fiction as a backstory. But then I thought, why not bring science fiction to Karachi? Why not bring aliens? I haven't used the word aliens in my book. I replaced it with extraterrestrial beings. Because for them, we are aliens, for us, they are aliens. So I thought, why not bring those space creatures to Karachi and create a science fiction novel in my city? And that is how the idea came up.
Just floated, yes.
Just floated.
And the people seem to be, your readers seem to be appreciating the fact that you have chosen this special, you can say, genre of writing. Because I don't remember recently any, you can say, author preferring sci-fi or having that kind of grip that you have with the ideas that you have used, very intergalactic sort of ideas with extraterrestrial beings and aliens and doing the thing. And what was the inspiration behind this whole intergalactic venture, and why choose Karachi, the mega metropolis? Because Karachi में I would like to say पहले कम होता है, वो कभी बाहर से आमद हो रही थी और बाहर से आमद हो रही थी, उसके बारे में what would you like to say?
I think I chose Karachi because I was born and raised here.
Yes.
And I know Karachi.
I mean, you actually got the Halai Makhluk in Karachi.
It was. I mean, when this book was launched, a few of my friends and I also received emails from readers that you could have set the story in New York or maybe Los Angeles and London so that you could give it a global appeal. But I said I wouldn't have made it.
Or you could have invented some city.
Yeah.
Yes.
In that
like
case,
city.
In either case, I wouldn't have connected the readers with the story.
Right.
I mean, at least people who are living in Karachi, people from Pakistan who have visited Karachi or they have their family or friends in Karachi, they know what Karachi is like. So I wanted to connect the story with the readers. Had I, for instance, set the story in New York, just say to get that global appeal, I wouldn't have done justice by explaining New York because I've never been in New York. I could have asked someone to explain it to me, but then again, the words wouldn't be mine. So first, I brought these alien creatures to Karachi because I know Karachi, and secondly, I think no one has ever ventured into science fiction by keeping Karachi as the main city where everything
the hub of everything is happening. All right. The Tele-Yakins or Tele-Kids. I'm having a hard time pronouncing these new words. We have become very attuned to J.K. Rowling's all the jargons that she uses in Harry Potter, but we haven't gotten used to Omar Iftikhar's names for different species. Tele-Yakins. Telecans. Are they telepathic or something for this name to be? What gave you this idea to use this particular, invent this name? Yes.
I was going through this whole creative naming process.
Okay.
Selecting names for the human characters was pretty much easy. But selecting names for these creatures was a hard job because I never wanted to. I mean, obviously, when I'm writing fiction or when anyone is writing fiction, they can use whatever name they want. Like Voldemort was the main villain in Harry Potter, Dumbledore, or maybe Gandalf.
Yes, we are naturally attuned to those names now, pronouncing those names now.
But when I was conceiving the names for these alien creatures, I had to keep them realistic as far as the pronunciation is concerned, but still they had to be out of our vocabulary. And so I started reading dictionaries, Urdu, English, Persian, Turkish, Italian, German, and I thought maybe I could like mix two words from two different languages and create a new word. But then I thought that why not create it from scratch? So Pelican was something that just came in my mind.
Alright. Now resonates with, or you can say more or less, it's kind of rhymes with pelicans. Easy to remember now. Pelicans.
Yeah, I never thought that like that.
Yes, but I believe right now I'm getting to say pelicans. At least it makes my job easy. To pronounce. Otherwise, I would have said telly people. No, so I won't be using the name telly people anymore. It will be pelicans. Yes, thank you. About planet Arclon in the Cygnus constellation reminds one of the Alpha and Omega quadrants and the Deep Space Nine, or the Star Trek Deep Space Nine, or even somehow I found it a little similar to planet Krypton. So is that where you're getting your ideas from?
Planet Krypton from Transformers, right?
No, this is where Superman was.
Yes, Superman.
Yes.
That's Cybertron. Sorry.
Yes.
I wanted to. I mean, first, why Cygnus constellation? Cygnus constellation is a factual place. It's not fictional. It's almost 600 plus light years away from Earth, and I just like the name Cygnus. And planet Arclon obviously is a fictional planet. The reason why I chose Cygnus was because it has a long, I mean, it is too far away from Earth, so it would justify my claim that these creatures are from a far galaxy. Okay. So number one.
Do you believe there is life apart from Earth?
I mean, as a fictional writer, I can believe anything, and I can make the readers believe anything. But life out of Earth, I mean, who knows?
Who knows? Yes, true.
I think by reading or watching fiction and stories from various genres, everyone absorbs content, right, in any form.
Subconscious, yes.
Subconscious. And when they write, it may flow out subconsciously. Maybe they are not aware that they are creating a link with someone else. Had I known that my character Ryan would be too similar with John Connor, I might have changed the story. But at that time, I wasn't creating any link with something where I wanted to keep it original. But even if it's creating a link, then good for me. People are actually going to, maybe 5 years, 10 years down the road, they're going to compare T2 with various species in some form or another.
Yeah, if they're as insane as I am, they might end up comparing
Absolutely.
two characters. In the narrative, where the aliens are friendly towards the Earthlings, and the negative rival character perhaps is an Earthling, the way we see Lex Luthor in Superman, with some hidden ulterior motive. But here we see that they have one from their own kind who is hell-bent on destruction, on destroying the humanity. How would you this treatment, then having a negative character from them and then arriving on the planet? What would you say?
both on both the sides, the alien creatures and the humans, they are working on certain vested interests, right? That the arriving Calicans who are here for research to befriend Ryan, they are working under direct orders of Commander Klopnock, who is also the commander of the spaceship, which they call as Mothership, which is their home away from home. And General Guscan is someone who wanted to become the commander of their army.
Okay.
And he has his vested interest to acquire that certain something which is buried in Karachi, which after extraction could destroy Karachi as you know it. But those arriving Calicans need to ensure that that thing remains buried and that Commander Guscan doesn't acquire it anyway.
Is that some sort of stone like
It's
kryptonite or something?
I mean I can share because the information is also as a blurb on the book.
Okay.
So the mineral it's more of a mineral resource which they had buried here many years ago. And now they want to extract it, but the radiation may cause maybe very little to human and animal life.
Okay.
But Commander Gustan, again for his vested interests, wants to extract it no matter what. So he is a main antagonist, but there is also an antagonist from the human side, which again the reader is going to know once they find it. And that is the premise for naming this book Divided Species.
Okay. Yes.
We have aliens one side, we have the humans at the other side. We both are divided,
Yes.
right? But there is another division between the aliens. One of them wants to save the earth, the other wants to destroy earth. And the human side, one section wants to help Ryan save earth, and the other section wants to destroy earth for
Both the species are divided within.
Yes.
Is what. Speaking of, you can say, putting this whole novel together, how much time have you invested? It looks pretty, you can say, more like some very extensively written piece, and very, you can say with expert hand of an expert. How much time have you invested in bringing about this book?
So the journey of writing this book began in 2011, almost 10 years ago.
2011.
Yes, almost 11 years ago.
11 years back.
So at that time I had no intention of writing this book, but the opportunity came in the form of Nanowrimo, which is National Novel Writing Month. It is a US-based creative writing competition which is held in the month of November each year. So from the 1st till the 30th of November, you create your profile and then you start writing a novel. Once it touches 50,000 words, you will get a certificate and you become a winner of that country, one of the winners of it. So I completed 50,000 words of this novel. I received the winner certificate. I was one of the few winners in 2011 Pakistan. And then I forgot about it. And after writing a year or so, I thought that maybe we can turn it into a complete novel.
Okay.
Then I started reading it again, and after I completed reading this very first draft manuscript, I figured out that the movie isn't even 50% complete. Sorry, the novel isn't 50% complete. Then I started editing it, then due to certain personal reasons, I again hit my manuscript. And then in 2016, I made a resolution that I will complete it. But still, there were so many loopholes in it. There was no, there was a climax, but that wasn't linked with the entire story. There was an end, but I wasn't satisfied with it. So I had to rewrite it again. I had to I had to choose the main character's name again and again. First he was Rahil, then he became Salman, then became Ryan, and I had to change personality based on the names I was choosing. And in 2019, I again made a firm resolution. Now I have to finish the book. end it, get us a book. So in 2020, I decided to, I contacted Aura Publications.
How did you manage to maintain this 11 years, the ebb and flow?
I think since there was no other book in my mind apart from this, so whenever I used to go back and start reading and writing again, so I think I always had that connection with this book because there was no other major project. Although I've been writing for the past 16 years for various print publications, but since this was the only baby I had, which I had to nurture, so I think I had that constant connection with them.
A Twitter word has just landed and it says, other than this baby, you have another baby and it's called MOI Rights. Tell us a little about that.
So MOI Rights is my website, which includes my profile, my writing publications, my published publications, and it has a page about right species. It has a section of Write It Right, which is my blog for helping aspiring writers to write well, effectively. And I was maintaining this Facebook page of mine, also known as MOI Rights, but I thought that an author should have a website of his own. So
MOI Rights is actually your website.
My website is my little page, my little word, and MOI obviously is the evolution of my name, Omar Iftikhar. So moirights.com is my little home.
There's another Twitter word and it says not just MOI Right. You have another hidden baby, perhaps it's too public, yet it's hidden because we haven't discussed it, which I'm now going to say. Tell us about Karwan.
So Karwan, Karwan or Karwan.org,
it's an organization?
Only as far as the website name is concerned, but it's more of a blog where I publish interviews of aspiring and well-established Pakistanis. And the story began in 2016 when I used to have my free WordPress blog, and I used to publish one interview per week, and it was called Super Saturday Interviews because it used to be called Saturday. But when I started receiving requests from people from Multan and Rahim Khan that I'm a writer, I'm going to be a scientist, I'm doing this, I'm doing some CSR work, why don't you feature me? So I thought it didn't look good that I publish my interviews on a free blog. So I registered Karwan.org, and the name landed in my mind. Karwan, there are like three spellings of Karwan. One is Caravan, which is an English word for caravan. One is Karwan, which is from the Persian language, which is Karvan.
As in Kainat?
No, as in a journey. Karwan hota hai na, kafla jise kehte hain. So I thought that Karwan made sense because I started it alone, but then every person who became part of the journey as an interviewee was part of Karwan.
An author has a lot of people to thank for. Who would you like to thank for dividing species?
The list is long, but I'm going to sum it up. First, my parents, who always encouraged me to read. Ever since I was a child, they used to give me books, magazines, and that is how I ended up being a reader. And then I developed a habit of writing. I want to thank all my teachers who, class 1 till university level, who always encouraged me to keep on writing. And my very close friends who always encouraged me, appreciated my writing. And for this book, I need to thank Aura Publications for taking up the idea, for publishing this book, and their name will forever be associated with wild species. They were the ones who converted my idea into a physical book. And I have to thank a few other people, Omar Iftikhar, he's an entertainment journalist, for writing for endorsing the book. Abbas Khan, the author of In the Company of Strangers, who also endorsed this book, Ms. Amrina Rashid for Dawn. She is secretary in charge. Thank you for endorsing this book, and a very special thanks to Safwa Mir. She is actually the editorial consultant of Radish Species. Once I completed my manuscript, I was a bit confused about how to structure various sections. So I hired, she worked with me as the editorial consultant, and she like streamlined the entire narrative. She removed certain loopholes, and she like redefined the narrative, and it became really smooth and clear. So thank you to all of them. And thank you for all the readers who are sending me their messages and who are buying this book. So, and again, one last thanks to Liberty Books for giving my book a shelf space in their outlets.
Alright, Liberty must be happy, or Art must be happy. All your people who have helped you must be really proud of you. Thank you for being with Authortalks. Thank you for being with Readerscafe. Thank you for taking out time for Readerscafe and honoring us with your presence.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And bringing about this very, you can say, different genre of book, and venturing into this sci-fi arena. And thank you. I hope people who will be reading Divided Species would consider, if you are a writer, if you are a thinker, venturing into this same, you can say, genre. A lot needs to be done, a lot needs to be, you can say, written, and we hope that this book inspires all the writers of sci-fi and all the readers of Omar Iftikhar. Thank you for